Come here, zombie! Oops, right in the feed bag!
My name's Alex Seropian. I'm the president of Wide Load Games, and we're here to show you Stubbs the Zombie. Wide Load Games actually was founded on Valentine's Day of 2002, and my previous gig was I was founder of Bungie, working on Halo, and then in 2002 started up Wide Load with a bunch of other Bungie guys. And the first project that we're working on, which we're going to show you today, is Stubbs the Zombie. Stubbs the Zombie is a game in which you play a character named Stubbs, who is in fact a zombie. And Stubbs, his full name is Edward Stubblefield. He was a traveling salesman in the 30s, not a particularly good one. He managed to get himself killed. And about 30 some odd years later, Andrew Munday, this billionaire industrialist, decides to build a gleaming city of the future. And this is in the 50s, right? So this is like guys in the 50s, their idea of what the year 2000 would be like. And it's got robots, it's got hovering cars, no crime, perfectly clean. But he makes the mistake of building it right on top of Stubbs' grave, which, of course, reanimates him into a zombie. And he pops up through the ground on opening day of Punch Bowl, and that's where the game starts. Its genesis really was, hey, what if you made a game where you were a zombie? Because we all like zombie games, right? But, what if you played the zombie? And it was a really cool challenge for us because if you think about zombies, they don't run around really fast. They're not the smartest, bulb in the batch. They don't usually run around with guns and stuff. So, how do you turn that into a cool game? And we came up with a couple of really interesting mechanics for the game. The first of which is this idea of conversion, where you're a zombie, you run around battling human guys, you eat their brain, they fall down, then they get back up as a zombie, and now they're on your team. And that's a really cool mechanic. It's really simple, but you turn an enemy into an ally, and that really can change the balance of things really quickly and in some really interesting ways. And then the other mechanic we came up with was this idea of using your body as the weapon. So you don't tote around a big, chain gun or whatever, but you've got these cool abilities where you can rip off your hand and chuck it, and now we switch player control to your hand, and the hand can run around anywhere in the environment, go through air ducts, you can throw it through a window. You can go places where normally you can't go. And it also has this cool feature where with the hand you can possess any of the other characters in the game. So all the enemies that you encounter, they're all important, right? Because if you whack one, they come back as your teammate, or you possess them and use their weapon. So that's pretty cool. And then there's other body abilities that Stubbs has too, where he can rip a chunk out of his guts and throw it as a grenade. And he's got this ability called the Unholy Flatulence, which is like this area of effect attack. So those two things, like the conversion and the body as a weapon, those are sort of our big ideas. Those are like the core mechanics of the game. The game is built on the Halo engine, and there's a few areas where we've split off to do our own thing. One of which is we're doing some graphic effects. We have a new image effects system where basically we can give the game this filtered sort of grainy look, so it makes it look more period to the 50s. And we also do stuff where when you rip off your arm and you're running around as the hand, we've got this cool image effect that's it's all sort of black and white, over bright with blurred edges, and it just gives it some visual distinction, which is kind of neat. And another area where we're sort of going off on our own, charting our own territory, is with some of the stuff we're doing to the AI to make the zombies do what you would expect them to do, which is pretty neat. So the zombies will basically, they follow you around, they'll engage enemies that you're fighting, but you can also control them, and there's no interface to it. It's completely diegetic. It's in the world where you can shove a zombie and they'll go where you shove them, or you can call them over and they'll come to where you are. And as simple as that sounds, that push-pull mechanism, it's got some really cool effects where you could be hiding behind a tree or something and cover, right? And there's this dude with a giant chain gun out in the road. So if you run out there, he's going to shoot you, right? But you can run into the road, call your zombies over, and they're kind of dumb, right? So they're just going to do what Stubbs says. So they run out into the road, you jump back behind cover, and now they're out in the road getting shot, which means that guy with the chain gun is focusing on the zombies out in the road. So you can run around them, so you can use that really simple mechanic of push-pull on your zombies to have a tactical advantage. The soundtrack for the game is something that we're really excited about. We've got some really great artists on it, like Death Cab for Cutie and Ben Queller, and some really cool songs that are inspired out of a time period of the game, like Earth Angel and My Boyfriend's Back, and a lot of really cool songs out of the 50s. It was a really great opportunity to work really collaboratively with our publisher Aspyr, because they have a lot of contacts in the recording industry. They have a label to publish music, so that's worked out really well for us. So look for Stubbs the Zombie coming in September 2005 from Aspyr Media and Wide Load Games, coming to the Xbox. Even more drunk and high. It's cool.